See, I've been in here for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? And I see niggas, they like to talk a lot. They like to claim leadership. They like to claim this and that. You know what I'm saying? They like to be above what they really is and have authority. But they don't really need that authority. They don't really.
According to God, the white man is the devil.
See, I've been in here for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? And I see niggas, they like to talk a lot. They like to claim leadership. They like to claim this and that. You know what I'm saying? They like to be above what they really is and have authority. But they don't really need that authority. They don't really know what to do with that leadership. You understand? You hold hands with this boy, your ass need to stop and ask you to give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. See, everybody ain't with all that peace talk. Everybody ain't with all that let bygone be. Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you to prop. It's about to get serious. When they hit us with dope and kill us with crack, where the fuck with your leaders? I'm curious. He cashed out on your blood, traded you in and bought a new biz. Ask you the prophets, I tell you the scheme. If you don't wake up, you gon' die in your dreams. I say you won't tell you no more. I swear these crackers try to kill us slow. Just spoke to a nigga and fed he up on parole because of the COVID. It feel like the host in this world that don't go together. Nowhere is gold in the ghetto. I'm in the city blazing with my niggas. Just told the devil the score never settled. Yeah, see the prophets. I'm tired of these niggas keep talking about, you know, you respect my religion, I respect your religion. Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you the prophets. You know, like we all come together. Cause you know what I'm saying? They say God so loved the world. God so loved the world to know. Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you the prophets. Don't give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. Hey, gentlemen, y'all, we don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up. You know what I'm saying? Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you to wrong with step. I'm solid for show. To the fake niggas, stay silent. I got it. Let's go. Let's go. I ain't taking no loss. Ain't no talking when we got the flow. Ain't no peace, just pay with your own. I'ma be loyal to the right arm. Tell them we can't keep it slate. And I can never let bygone be bygone. Got your baby mother on high. Got your baby pants through the fire. Ask you the prophets. That baby soul belong to the Lord. How dare you abort it? Devil will fail you, bitch. I can afford it. I prepare slaughter. You bring me my water. Push your leaders weak. Let them lies slip through their teeth. Their ass need to stop and ask you the prophets.
That's just the reality, Christians. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. I know your pastor lied to you every Sunday for 30 years, but that's what the church is for, lying. That's why they exist, to lie the money out of your pockets.
Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you to give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga.
Right before you check out, this tool scans the web for active discount codes and automatically applies them. I just got the
All I wanna do is run it. All I wanna do is run it. Get the money, tell her run it. Run it, ain't no problem if you want it. All my niggas 100. All I wanna do is run it. All I wanna do is run it. Get the money, tell her run it. Run it, ain't no problem if you want it. All my niggas 100. All I wanna do is run it. Main event, it's about to be a KO. This nation gotta stack a couple pesos. I'm about to paint a picture, gotta lay on. Already turned up, took a shot at Portaleo. Shorty say I'm the realest that she saw. I'm just trying to run it like I'm running from the law. Cause you know I gotta get it for my children. UPK, bitch, we in the field. Okay, I think it's time to level up. Them niggas ain't special, bro. Them niggas just regular. Me, I'm a heavyweight, trying to run in every state. Lot of soldiers, whole lot of rank. Watch me regulate. You know we taking round. Plus we ain't playing round. If the nigga ain't got the heart, tell him stand out. And put your hands down. if you want it. All my niggas 100. All I wanna do is run it. Run it, run it, run it, run it. All I wanna do is run it. Get the money, tell her run it. Run it, run it, run it, run it. Ain't no problem if you want it. All my niggas 100.
All I ever did was run it. This one West to all of these ignorant fools and dummies. Get the fuck with all of that fake shit in that front. Got a heater like it's 100 bullets bouncing off of the drum like a punch. Pump my gas, smashing this rubber. Gun sound like a stutter. You knew it, the bitch a hoe, and you still had to go cover. Sellouts and undercovers, don't fuck with you fag fuckers. Got shooters flanked by the double. Look up, splash brothers. Swoosh. Now she knowing my name while I'm stacking my change. Never package that cocaine, cause I don't touch it. Swoop. Most my people gone insane, but I'm focused on making change. You a brother, so nigga, I won't fuck her. Better choose wiser. This shit look like MacGyver made these new visors. True scholars with this knowledge, yeah, my crew lava. You stuck on popping collars with your new dollars. I'm just trying to separate like I got two islands.
Run it, run it, run it, run it, run it. All I wanna do is run it. Get the money, tell her run it. Run it, run it, run it, run it. Ain't no problem if you want it. All my niggas run it. All I wanna do is run it. Run it, run it, run it, run it. All I wanna do is run it. Get the money, tell her run it. Run it, run it, run it, run it. Ain't no problem if you want it. All my niggas 100. All I wanna do is run it.
How often do you think about your poop? Now, some people think about their poop a lot, others not so much. Did you know that every
The secret to having a tool that satisfies any girl may be right there in your fridge. That's right. If you think that your little friend
Fuck, man. No coming, no nigga came back down. I thought I'd let you know that I was gone, but I never left. Come back now. I thought I'd let you know this brotherhood is a whip, and I never let it go. Never let it free. Shit, I kill for my niggas. I thought I'd let you know. No coming, no nigga came back down. I thought I'd let you know that I was gone, but I never left. Come back now. I thought I'd let you know this brotherhood is a whip, and I never let it go. Never let it free. Shit, I kill for my niggas. I thought I'd let you know. Yeah, you nigga know I'm about to bring the heat, right? Shit, I used to leave the street light. Hey, now I still keep the heat tight. Now nigga on gold like a green light. They say 144, nigga, you can get it. Ain't gotta tell me twice. Tryna stack a couple grand, get on some land, and put us on the feed them in the field with the Warriors. And you know a nigga glorious, but we still keep it Cheeto. Keep them tools Home Depot. Might hit him with the Rico. Hey, hit the nigga with the Rico. Hey, say they fucked up the rap game. What you looking at me for? So I know they can't stab me. That's why I keep a Glock handy. Might sip a little brandy. While I'm chilling with the family. Tell him a real nigga landed. Dressing all black like a bandit. Bitch, I ain't come to play. Bitch, I came to do damage. No coward, no nigga came back down. I thought I'd let you know that I was gone, but I never left. I'm back now. I thought I'd let you know this brotherhood is a whip, and I never let it go. Never let it free. Shit, I kill for my niggas. I thought I'd let you know. No coward, no nigga came back down. I thought I'd let you know that I was gone, but I never left. I'm back now. I thought I'd let you know this brotherhood is a whip, and I never let it go. Never let it free. Shit, I kill for my niggas. I thought I'd let you know. Back, now we ballin'. Ain't Babylon falling. You know the path a nigga walk. Nigga raised up, now I'm all in. And all I ever wanted was the win and the big body Benz. Now I'm gone in the wind, trying to stack a couple in. Now let's get it in, yeah, let's get it in. About to make the shit tremble. 144, the rebel. Yeah. About to turn it up a level. Heat the bitch up like lava. And it probably bring a whole mob. And all that we feel is our father. And I'm headed for the top dollar. And ain't never gonna stop me. Never gonna stop. No coward, no nigga came back down. I thought I'd let you know that I was gone, but I never left. I'm back now. I thought I'd let you know this brotherhood is a whip, and I never let it go. Never let it free. Shit, I kill for my niggas. I thought I'd let you know. No coward, no nigga came back down. Go ahead. I thought I'd let you know that I was gone, but I never left. Come back now. I thought I'd let you know this brotherhood is a weapon, and I never let it go. Never let it free. Shit, I kill for my niggas. I thought I'd let you know. Ain't got time to play. Ain't no other way. I got them soldiers on the way now. Ain't got no time to play. Ain't no other way. I got them soldiers on the way now. I got them soldiers on the way now. I got
The mic. All right, let's give it up. Give it up. All right, shalom, shalom. Yahaba Hashim Yahushua Barakatam. Yahweh Shemal Ataba Hashim Yahushua. This is Officer Lahab. This is ISUPK Charlotte Sabbath service. Go ahead and get ready to get started. You know, right before we go into this glorious week that we got going on this week. The ISUPK, the Lord's Passover. I think we're gonna go ahead and change it up a little bit from where we at this week as far as the chapters, and we're going to go ahead and jump into a little bit of the Passover verses. Find where, just get that ready for me, but let's go ahead and get started. All right, sit yourself. Baaz, Banya Howard, Banya Sha'ala. Yahaba Hashim Yahushua Barakatah. All right. Hold on.
Imagine, which means to stand. Up in Ya'akadam, which means turn and face the east. You're going to say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabashimayim, Quadash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwithka, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Baharataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Nathalanawa, Lakam, Cal, Yawam, Wasalaklanawa, Kabawathinawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawathinawa, Wala'ah, Tabaya'anawa, Banasaya 1, Abal, Hawashanawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwath, Waha'ala, Wahatapara, La'walamyum, Aman in the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, that will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. This is the prayer for the power. Yahweh. Ba'ashim Yahushua, Baba Kusha, Nathalanawa, Hakak, Larapa'ah, Ka Makala, Wakal Madawa, Hakak, Latahar, Hamatazarayim, Hakak, Lahakwim, Hamathium, Hakak, Arakawath, Hatama'ala,
Hatama'ala,
Lagarashan,
Lagarashan,
Ba'ashim Yahushai,
Bahashim Yahushua,
the water among.
the water in the English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua,
In the name of Yahushai,
please
please
give us the power.
give us the power.
The power to heal.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to raise the dead. So like the power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. This is the prayer for the blessings. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Wa Yahushua.
Wa Yahushua.
Wa Makaya Allah.
Wa Mayaka Allah.
Wa Alahayim.
Wa Alahayim.
Matazabiyah.
Matazabiyah.
Alawap Yahana.
Alawap Yahana.
Ha Alawap.
Ha Alawapim.
Hasaranyim.
Hasaranyim.
Ha Quartazayanyim.
Ha Quartazayanyim.
Ha Koyoyoyim.
Ha Koyoyoyim.
Wa Ha Aquathium.
Wa Aquathium.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashim Yahushai.
Ba'ashim Yahushai.
The water among.
The water among in the English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahushua.
And Yahushai.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yohana.
Commanding General Yohana.
The generals.
The generals.
The captains.
The captains.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
Troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. This is Psalm 121. Asha'ah.
Asha'ah.
Ayanya.
Ayanya.
Ahahariam.
Ahahariam.
Ma'ayan.
Ma'ayan.
Yaba'ah.
Yaba'ah.
Isariah.
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 Ma'aim.
Ma'aim.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Shamayam.
Shamayam.
Wa'arataza.
Wa'arataza.
Al-Yathan.
Ayathan.
Lamawat.
Lamawat.
Regalka.
Regalka.
Al-Yanawam.
Ayanawam.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Hana.
Hana.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Yayashan.
Yashan.
Shawamar.
Shawamar.
Yasha'ala.
Yasha'ala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Tazalka.
Tazalka.
Al-Yad.
Al-Yad.
Yamyanka.
Yamyaka.
Yawamam.
Yawamam.
Hashamash.
Hashamash.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yakaka.
Yakaka.
Wayarak.
Wayarak.
Balayala.
Balayala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamarka.
Yashamarka.
Makarai.
Makarai.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Athnapashka.
Avnapashka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Taza'athka.
Taza'athka.
Wabawa'aka.
Wabawa'aka.
Ma'atha.
Mayatha.
Wa'aidai walam.
Wa'aidai walam. In English, I will lift up mine eyes
I will lift up mine eyes
unto the hills.
to the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh,
My help cometh from Yahweh,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Yasha'Allah
he that keepeth Yasha'Allah
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee
Yahweh shall preserve thee
from all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in
from this time forth
this time forth
and even
and
forevermore.
even forevermore. This is Psalm 183. Alahayim,
Alahayim,
Al Damayalaka,
Al-Damayalaka,
Al Dakarash,
Al-Takarash,
Wa Al Dashakwat,
Wa-Al-Tashakwat,
Al
Al,
Kayahana,
Kayahana,
Awayabika,
Awayabyaka,
Yahama,
Yahama,
Yawan,
Yawam,
Ra'ash,
Ra'ash,
Al Imaka,
Al-Imaka,
Ya'irayamu,
Yawayamwa,
Sawada,
Sawada,
Wayatha,
Wayatha,
Ya'ai Tazawa,
Ya'ai Tazawa,
Al Tazapawanyaka,
Al-Tazapawanyaka,
Amarwa,
Amarwa,
Lakawa,
Lakawa,
Wanakakida,
Wanakakida,
Magaya,
Magaya,
Wala'a,
Wala'a,
Yazakar,
Yazakar,
Sham Yasha'ala,
Sham Yasha'Allah,
Iwada,
Iwada,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Nawa'ai Tazawa,
Nawa'ai Tazawa,
Laba,
Laba,
Yakadwa,
Yakadwa,
Al Yaka,
Alyaka,
Baryath,
Bariath,
Yakarath,
Yakarathwa,
Ahalya,
Ahalya,
Adawam,
Adawam,
Wa Yashimai,
Wayashamai,
Alayam,
Alayam,
Mawa'aba,
Mawa'aba,
Wahagarium,
Wahagarium,
Gabal,
Gabal,
Wa'amawan,
Wa'amawan,
Wa'amalak,
Wa'amalak,
Palashath,
Palashath,
I'm Yeshabia,
Yeshabia,
Tazawar,
Tazawar,
Gam Ashawar,
Gamashawar,
Nalawa,
Nalawa,
Imam,
Imam,
Hayawa,
Hayawa,
Zarawai,
Zarawai,
Labanya Lawat,
Laban Yalawat,
Salah,
Salah,
Aisha,
Aisha,
Laham,
Laham,
Kamadian,
Kamadim,
Kasaya,
Kasaya,
Sara'ah,
Sara'ah,
Kayabian,
Kayabiam,
Banakal,
Banakal,
Kwayashwan,
Kwayashwan,
Nashamadwa,
Nashamadwa,
Bayandara,
Bayandara,
Hayawa,
Hayawa,
Daman,
Daman,
La'adama,
La'adama,
Shayathamwa,
Shayathamwa,
Nada,
Dada,
Yamawa,
Yamawab,
Ka'arab,
Kayarab,
Wakaza'aba,
Wakazaaba,
Wakazabak,
Wakazabak,
Wakatazal,
Wakatazal,
Mana'ai,
Mana'ai,
Kal Nasa Yakamwa,
Kal Nasa Yakamwa,
Ashar,
Ashar,
Amarwa,
Amarwa,
Nayarash,
Nayara,
Salakia, Nayarashah,
Nayarashah,
Lanawa,
Lanawa,
Ath,
Ath,
Nawath,
Naawath,
Alahayim,
Alahayim,
Alahaya,
Alahaya,
Shayathamwa,
Shayathamwa,
Kagagala,
Kagagala,
Kakwash,
Kakwash,
Lapunya Rawaka,
Lapanya Rawaka,
Ka'ash,
Ka'ash,
Daba Ira Ira,
Tabaya Ira,
Wakalahaba,
Wakalahaba,
Dalahat,
Talahat,
Harayam,
Halayam,
Khan,
Khan,
Daradatma,
Tabadatma,
Basa Iraka,
Wasa Ibaka,
Wabasa,
Wabasa,
Wapathka,
Wapashka,
Daba Halam,
Tabahalam,
Mala'ah,
Mala'ah,
Panyaham,
Panyaham,
Kualawan,
Kualawan,
Wayabakwashwa,
Wayabakwashwa,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahawa,
Yahawa,
Yabashwa,
Yabashwa,
Wayabahawa,
Wayabahawa,
Aya'ai,
Ajaid,
Wayakaparwa,
Wayakapawa,
Wayabadwa,
Wayabadwa,
Wayadawa,
Wayadayawa,
Kaya Atha,
Kayatha,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahawa,
Yahawa,
Labadka,
Labadka,
Al-Yawan,
Ayawan,
Al-Kaharataza.
Al-Kaharataza. In the English, keep not thou silent,
Keep not thy silence,
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace,
Hold not thy peace,
and be not still,
be not still,
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo,
For lo,
thy enemies make a tumult,
thy enemies make a tumult,
and they that hate thee
they that hate thee
have lifted up the
have
head.
lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty
They
counsel
have taken crafty counsel
against thy people,
against thy people,
and consulted
and
against
consulted
thy
against
hidden ones.
thy hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
Come,
come,
and let us cut them off
and let us cut them off
from being a
from
nation,
being a nation,
that the name of Yasha'Allah
that the name of Yahshua
may be no more
may
remembrance.
be no more remembrance.
For they had consulted together
For they have consulted together
with one consent.
with one consent.
They are confederate against
They are
thee,
confederate against thee,
the tabernacles of
the
Edom,
tabernacles of Edom,
and the Ishmaelites,
and the Ishmaelites,
of Moab,
of Moab,
and the
and
Hagarenes,
the Hagarenes,
Gabal,
Gabal,
and Ammon,
and Ammon,
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the Philistines,
Philistines,
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
the inhabitants of Tyre,
Assur
Assur
also
also
is joined with them.
is joined with them.
They have hope. They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them
Do unto them
as unto the
as
Midianites,
unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as to Sisera,
as to Jabin,
as to Jabin,
at the brook of Kisan,
at the brook of Kison,
which perished at Endor.
which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the
They
earth.
became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles
Make their nobles
like Oreb
like Oreb,
and like Zeeb.
like Zeeb.
Yea,
Yea,
all their princes,
all their princes,
as Sebah
as Zabah,
and as
and
Almuna,
as Ammona,
who said,
said,
Let us take to
let us
ourselves
take to ourselves
the houses of Yahweh in possession.
the houses of Yahweh in possession.
O my power,
O my power,
make them like a wheel,
make them like a wheel,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the fire burneth they wood,
as the fire burneth they wood,
and as the flame
and as the flame
set the mountains on fire.
setteth the mountains on fire.
So persecute them
So persecute
with
them
thy tempest,
with thy tempest,
and make them
and
afraid
make them afraid
with thy storm.
with thy storm.
Fill their faces with
Fill
shame,
their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy name.
that they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
let them be confounded
let them be confounded
and troubled forever.
trouble forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to
let
shame
them be put to shame
and perish,
and perish,
that men may
that
know
men may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name
whose
alone
name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the most high
art the most high
over all the earth.
over all the earth.
All right.
Shab,
Sa. Saw.
It's like sar, which means to turn. La Yashala.
La Yashala.
Yashab, which means to be seated.
Go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and just pick it up where we had left off. Buys last I think a week ago, 2 weeks ago. We were still in numbers. Numbers
13. I think it's chapter 13, verse 15, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's the one. That's exactly it. So pick it up 15.
13.
Yeah, 15. 21.
Con.
All right.
You're on the football schedule.
Cool.
I'll let me know the football.
Oh, okay.
7, 14, 21, 28,
Yeah.
35. Con. Pull out my blue letter. Salakia. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 13, starting at verse 15. Lamata, God, got our all. Bun, Makawa, verse 16. Allah, Shemawath, Ha'anashim, Ashar, Shalak, Masha, Lathawar, Af, Ha'aratiza, Waya Ra'ah, Masha, Laha, La Hawashai, Bun, Nayan, Nawan, Yaha Washai, Yahawashai. Verse 17. Waya Shalak, Atham, Masha, Lathawar, Ath, Arataza, Kana'aim, Waya Amar, Alaham. Ailawa. Za. Bana. Banagab. Wa Ila Yatham. Af. Ha. Hahar. Verse 18. Wara Yath. Wara Yatham. Wara Yatham. Av. Ha'aratiza. Maha. Hawa'a. Wa'ath. Ha'aim. Hayashab. Ila Ya. Hakazak. Hawa'a. Harapa. Harapa. Harapa'a. Hama'ite. Hawa'a. Rabah. Verse 19. Wama. Ha'aratiza. Ashar. Hawa'a. Yashab. Baha. Hatawaba. Hawa'a. Ra'aiha. Wama. Ha'irayam. Ashar. Hawa'a. Yawashab. Bahana. Habamak. Nayam. Bama. Bataza.
I think that's Haba Makanyam. Haba Makanyam. But how'd you say it? Haba Mak Nayam. Okay. You good. You did it verse 19?
Colonel.
Okay.
Bamab Tazaryam.
Baba Tazarayam. Bamab
We
Tazarayam.
got another ba in there.
Bama
Tazarayam.
Bamab. Yeah.
Verse 20. Wama Ha'aratiza. Hashamana. Hawa'a. Raza. Hayash. Ba or Baha? Baha. Aitiza. Ayan. Wahath.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh?
That's a yeah. That's not a wa. That's a yeah.
Salaki.
Let me see. That's what you got. Let me see. Let me see. After Ayan.
Ayan. Yeah, so what?
Ayan.
You got a yeah?
Yeah, look. That's Ayan. Look, Ayan. Then Yaha. Read it like that.
Waha Zaquathium Wala Quathum Maparia Ha'arataza Waha Yum Yamaya Baka Warrior Ainabium. Verse 21. Waya Ailaw Waya Ailaya Waya Ailawa the water. Waya Tharwa Af Harataza Mamad Mama Debar Tazana Aid Rakab Laban Laba'a Salaki Laba'a Kamath.
Good job. All right, pick it up in the English, if you could, Baba Kashaw.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 13 and verse 15. Of the tribe of Gad, Geuel, the son of Makai, verse 16. These are the names of the men which Moses sent to spy out the land.
So Moses told these men, "Hey, look, go spy." That's what That's everything come from what the Israelites did in the Bible, man, and what our people did. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, we've been so great, Boz. We've been great. We've been greater than every other nation on the face of the earth. And not because of who we are, just like the Most High said, not because of, because we're the greatest, like as far as people. Because, the Lord chose Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but because the promise and the covenant he made. So even things like spying and every war tactic come from the Bible. Like, that's where people get everything. I was just listening, and this is just a little sidebar. On the way over here, Boz, I was listening to the story of a Green Beret that was a Issacharite brother. His dad was a so-called Mexican from the tribe of Issachar. His mama was a Native American Indian from the tribe of Gad. And the movie Forrest Gump, or any war movie really, but this brother, he was in the army or in the military. Just had a hard life, like the prophecies say about. He suffered from the curses too. Mother died. He was an orphan, just going through hell, boys. And then of course, looking for some type of, like we all do when we join gangs, because the U.S. military is a gang. So when we join any type of criminal organization, because the U.S. military is a criminal organization. So he joins what he thought was the greatest, the best thing to save his life. He didn't find the truth. He didn't find us, but he found in his oppressors' military, and in there he exceeded so much. He stepped on a mine bomb, like one of the mines was like a mine, was paralyzed, and he recovered. He fought his way through, because that's Issachar's spirit. And he made it to where he taught himself how to walk again. Joined the Green Berets, like made it to the Green Berets, and in Vietnam took on a whole Vietnamese battalion to save 12 men. Out of those 12 men, he only saved 8, but he was wounded so bad. Like, look him up. His name is something Benavides, George Benavides, or something like that. Like he fought a whole Vietnamese battalion in the Vietnam War and saved people. He saved soldiers, got them to safety. Of course, some of them died, but he pretty much almost died. And he was shot. He was shot in the face. He was shot in the gut. Just like in that movie Forrest Gump.
Okay.
What I'm meaning to say is that that was one man that took out one battalion. Like our people been great. We've been doing all of these things that that the world tries to mimic, but we don't have. If we were a nation under the Most High's power, under the Most High's protection, and under His, serving Him, then nothing can stop us.
Right.
Nothing can stop us, man. The greatest boxers exist in Israel. The greatest basketball players exist in Israel. The greatest soldiers exist in Israel. And I'm not talking about Israel or the land. I'm talking about in blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indian communities, man.
Right.
That's who we are. And Moses sent out these brothers to go spy the land. He sent out the best. He sent them on the mission. Go spy the land. Read on.
And Moses called O'Shea, the son of Nun, Yahushua. See Yehoshua right there.
Joshua. What it says? O'Shea. And Moses called O'Shea. Oh, yeah, Lama.
I said Yehoshua, but that's Yahushua.
No, that's a different one. Joshua, Yehoshua. Which one? The son of Yehoshua?
Son of Nun, Yehoshua.
O'Shea or Yehoshua?
Yehoshua.
Okay, Yehoshua, yeah.
Verse 17. And Moses sent them to spy out the land of Canaan.
So they spell it different in this one. You know what I'm saying? What's it look like right there? Same one? Okay. Go ahead.
Verse 17. And Moses sent them to spy out the land of Canaan, and said unto them, Get you up this way southward, and go up into the mountain. Verse 18. And see the land, what it is, and the people that dwelleth therein, whether they be strong or weak, few or many. Verse 19. And what the land is that they dwell in, whether it be good or bad, and what cities they be that they dwell in, whether in tents or in strongholds. Verse 20. And what the land is, whether it be fat or lean, whether there be wood therein or not. And be ye of good courage, and bring of the fruit of the land.
So he said, be brave. Like you basically sending them on a spy mission. He chose who he thought was the strongest and the smartest, and said, go down to this land, spy it, go see if it's what kind of people live there. If they're weak or if they're strong, whether there's a lot of them or a few of them, and whatever, bring some fruit. See what's popping there, and be strong and be what of courage, and be ye good of courage. I mean, don't be intimidated. Just go in a strong spirit. Go ahead.
Come. Now the time was the time of the first ripe grapes. Verse 21. So they went up and searched the land from the wilderness of Zin unto Rahab, as men come to Hamath.
That's the end of verse 21. Let me pick it up in verse 22. No, that was in verse 20, right?
21.
So I'll pick up at 22 to 28. All right, the book of Numbers, chapter 13, verse 22. Wayailawa, Badgab, Wayaba'a, Ide, Kabarwan, Washama, Akayaman, Shashiyah, Wathalmaya, Yalayadya, Ha'inakwa, Wakab Shabai, Shanayam, Nabantha, Lapanya, Taza'ain, Taza'aina, or Taza'aina, Matazarayim, verse 23. Wayaba'awa, Wayaba'awa, Nakal, Ashakal, Wayakarathwa, Masham, Zamawara, Waash, Waash, Salakia, Waash Kawal, Nabayam, Akkad, Waya Ahawa, Bamawat, Bashanyam, Waman, Salakia, Haraman Yum. No, as a guy, is that a okay? Hamaranyam, Waman, Hathaanyam, verse 24. Lamakwawam, Hahawa'a, Kwara'a, Nakal, Ashkawal, Al, Adawath, Ha'ashakawal, Ashar, Karathwa, Basham, Bamania, Banya, Salakia, Banya, Yasha'ala, Wayashaba, Wayashbawa, Wayashabwa, Mathawar, Ha'arataza, Makwataza, Araba'ai, Yawam, verse 26. Wayalakawa, I believe that's the word. Wayaba'awa, Al, Mashah, Wa'al, Aharon, Wa'al, Kal, Idath, Banya, Yasha'ala, Al, Madabar, Pa'aran, Quadash, Wayash Yabawa, no, Salakia. Wayash Yabawa, Wayash Yabawa, that sound better. Wayash Yabawa, Atham, Dabar, Wa'ath, Kal, Ha'ida, Wayara, Awam, Ath, Paraya, Ha'arataza, verse 27. Wayasaparwa, Lawa, Wayaamarwa, Ba'anwa, Al, Ha'arataza, Ashar, Shalakath, Noah, Wagam, Zabath, Alab, Salakia? Oh, Kalab, Wadabash, Hawa'ah, Waza'a, Parayaha. That's the end of verse 27. Verse 28. Apam, Kaya, is that a za? Aiza, Ha'aim, Hayash, Hayashab, Ba'aratiza, Waha'ai Rayab, Batazarawath, Gadalath, Ashar, no, Ma'ad, Wagam, Iladiya, Ha'ain Kwa, Ra'a, that's the, okay, Ha'ainakwa, Ra'ayanwa, Shama. That's the end of verse 28. Pick it up from the English. Baba Kasha.
Khan. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 13, verse 22. And they ascended by the south and came unto Hebron, where Ahiman, Shishai, and Talmai, the children of Anak, were. Now Hebron was built 7 years before Zoan in Egypt.
So this is a great city, probably because it was built before a big city in Egypt. Go ahead.
Verse 23.
And let me say something, man. Like historical scholars use the Bible to reference everything else. Like every like you the only reason that people discourage the Bible or discredit the Bible is really when it comes to the miracles. Like the miracles is what they want to say, oh, those was UFOs or those were, gods from another. I mean, not gods, but intelligent beings. Like they decide, America and the oppressors uses words to discredit who the Most High is, right? So they like, oh, those are alien beings, and Ezekiel saw the chariot, and that's where, because of Christianity's fault, by us, it becomes mystical, right? But all these major cities and all these names in this Bible, that's why the historical scholars go here and say, oh yeah, that city existed, and it's true. Go ahead.
What you're saying is so heavy, and if I could just add to it, they also they know if this, they know if they have to accept this book as true,
right?
Then they gotta live by it,
right?
They don't want to live by it,
and not even live by it. Is they gotta accept that the people that they're talking about is the same people they oppress every day. Right. So they got to go around it to make it something else. They got to call it ancient aliens, and they got to call it, or and of course the biggest deceit of all is they just make them white. You make them white, it wash everything. Go ahead.
So like I was talking about our people.
Yeah, of course, our people. No, I'm talking about just in general. In general, the reason why the Bible to us, when we're taught, it becomes this mystical, just religion. When the history is in the Bible, right? Cities are in the Bible. Right. People that exist in lineages are in the Bible. The history of everybody is in the Bible. Really, every nation is in the Bible. It's just that the oppressor took it and diluted it, diluted the truth, made it a religion, and then when it comes to the miracles, of course, we blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, really, we say we believe in miracles, but we don't believe in miracles because we haven't really seen one. Right. People talk about, yeah, I seen a miracle. Yeah, the biggest miracle of it all is when the Lord frees us as a nation. Okay. That's the miracle. And the biggest miracle of it all now is the Israelite School UPK waking up blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. That's the miracle, man. That's what's unbelievable, really. That's the real miracle. And then the Lord's power is going to take us out of this captivity, just like he took us out of Egypt by us. But these cities are in the Bible. This stuff existed. and archaeologists find it. Go ahead.
Salakia, sir. From what I done seen in my life, it's definitely a miracle to see a brother get off crack.
It's a miracle it's a miracle to get off of Christianity. That's a miracle.
That's a miracle.
It's a miracle to get off Christianity and look at it, turn around, look at it now, and be like, "Man, that was I should have been on drugs instead." Go ahead, but that's the reason why I got on drugs. Go ahead, because of Christianity, man. Go ahead.
Verse 23, and they came unto the brook of Eshcol, and cut down from thence a branch with one cluster of grapes, and they bare between two upon a staff, and they brought of the pomegranates and of the figs. Verse 24, the place was called the brook of Eshcol, because of the cluster of grapes which the children of Israel cut down from thence. They had to have two to carry,
It was so much. It was a good land. Put it like that. It was a good land. And the Lord gave us this land. The Lord promised us this land. And this is scripture. It's not like the oppressor when he found this land. He found this land and stole it. He was deceitful with it. The Lord didn't give him this land. He took this land. He murdered it. Now you're going to go into like how the Lord wanted these nations, because these was enemies of the Most High. These nations, look, the heathens are enemies of God.
Right.
The other nations are enemies of God because they will never serve the Most High. They don't want to serve the Most High. They want to serve their own gods. They want to commit all the wickedness on the earth being committed. They want to eat bats and they want to eat, and they want to do things their way. They want to serve their gods, and they want a certain type of rulership. They will never serve this God, so they're going to be enemies of God. So that's why the Lord said that land is too good. It's going to be defiled by these heathens. It's going to be yours now. This is how you're going to get it. Go ahead. Because it was promised. It was promised to the children of Israel anyway. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 25, and they returned from searching of the land after 40 days. Verse 26, and they went and came to Moses and to Aaron and to all the congregation of the children of Israel unto the wilderness of Paran, to Kadesh, and brought back word unto them and unto all the congregation, and shewed them the fruit of the land. Verse 27, and they told him and said, we came unto the land whither thou sentest us, and surely it floweth with milk and honey.
Meaning is abundant, they literally, that's how you know the Bible is a Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian book. The way the analogies of things, just the description how Black people, Hispanic people, and Native Indian people describe things. We're not literally meaning it was milk and honey. It was just saying, look, there's abundance there. Go ahead.
Come. Sort of like, I don't know if you ever watched Sanford and Son.
Yeah, come.
The two cops, Smitty and Hoppy.
Yeah.
Smitty the brother, and Hoppy was the oppressor.
Right.
He used to always get all of the hip sayings wrong.
Right, he does.
Smitty had to correct him.
God, because we make this earth hip. We make it what it is. Right. We put the flavor in everything. If it weren't for us, there wouldn't be no flavor. Look, Lil Wayne put bling bling in the dictionary. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just things like that, man. It's just we make the earth go round, and even that saying, a land that flow with milk and honey, it come from the Bible, but it come from people that look like me and you. Go ahead.
Come. By the time the oppressor catch up to the latest slang, it's already old, and we
to the next one. Yeah, go ahead.
And this is the fruit of it. Verse 28, nevertheless, the people be strong that dwell in the land, and the cities are walled and very great. And moreover, we saw the children of Anak there. That's the end of verse 28.
Go ahead, pick up 29.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 13 and verse 29 in the Hebrew. I'm Malak. Yawa Yawashab Baratiza Hanagab Wahak 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 Wahakathya Wahakathya Wahayab Wahayab Wasawa Wasaya Salakia Waha Yaba Was yeah
Which one?
Waha
What verse is that? Not 20.
verse 29 Wahayab Wasawya.
Let me
That's a
see.
long one there.
Wahayab was Wahayab was Wahayab was a ya. Wahayab was a ya. Wahayab was ya.
I think it's Wahayaba Was yeah.
Wahayab was yeah. Wahayab was yeah. Go ahead.
Wahayab was yeah.
Yeah.
Waha Amar yeah.
Wahamar yeah. Wahamar yeah. Go ahead.
Wayashab
Uh-huh.
Bahar Waha Kan Waha Kana Ainya Yashab Al Hayam Wa'al Yad Haya Done. Verse 30. Wayaham Kalab Ath Tha'im Al Masha Waya Amar Ilah Na'ilah Waya Rishan Atha Kaya Yakawal Nawakal La verse 31 Waha Anashyam Ashar Ilawa Imawa Amarwa La'a Nawakala La'ai Lawath Al Ha'im Kaya Kazak Haya'a Hawa'a Mamanwa verse 32 Waya Wataza Ya'awa Dabath Ha'arataza Ashar Tharawa Atha Al Bunya Yasha'ala La'amar Ha'arataza Ashar Iba Runwa
Uh-huh.
Baha Lathawar
Uh-huh.
Atha, Arataza, Akalaf, Wa Yawa Shabyath.
Yeah, Washab, yeah.
Yawa Shabyath.
That's a ha.
Oh, Salakia. Yawa Shab, yeah. Yawa Shabya.
Washab, yeah. I think it's yeah, Washab, yeah.
Yawa Shabya.
Uh-huh.
Hawa
Uh-huh.
Wakala.
Wakal.
Wakal. Ha'aim.
Uh-huh.
Ashar.
Uh-huh.
Ra'a. Yunwa.
Yep.
Batha. Waka.
Uh-huh.
Anashya.
Uh-huh.
Madawath. Verse 33. Washam. Ra'a. Yunwa. Ath. Hanap. Yalayam. Bunya. Ainak. Man. Or Mana.
Man.
Man. Hana. Paulium. Hana Paulium.
Hanapalium, yeah.
Wana Hayam. Wana Haya. Ba'ayan Yanawa.
Ba'ayan Yanwa.
Ba'ayan Yanwa. Kagabium.
No, Kakag. Bayam.
Kagabium.
Biam.
Kakagabium.
Kakagium. Yeah, Kakagabium.
Wakan. Haya Yab. Haya Yanwa.
Yep.
Ba'ai Yan Yaham.
Uh-huh.
Verse 34.
No,
Salakia.
verse 1.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 14, and verse 1. What the Sha'ah, or Wath Sha'ah.
Yeah, Washia.
Wath Sha'ah.
Uh-huh.
Kal Ha'aida.
Uh-huh.
Wa Yath Noah.
God.
Av Kwawalam. Waya Waba Waya Ba Kab Salakia. Wayab Kawa. Ha'aim.
Right.
Balaya La. Balaya La.
Balaya. They go there. Balaya.
Yeah, okay. Ha Wa'a. Verse 2. Waya Lanwa. Al. Masha. Wa'al. Aharon. Kala. Akal. Bunya. Yasha Allah. Waya Marwa. Alaham. Kal. Ha'aida. Lawa. Mathanwa. Ba'aratiza. Matazaram. Matazayam.
Matazarayim.
Matazarayim. So like I knew that one. Matazarayim. Our, Bama, Dabar, Hazah, Lawa, Mathanwa. That's the end of verse 2. Picking it up in the English. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 13, and verse 29. The Amalekites, Salaki, the Amalekites dwell in the land of the south, and the Hittites, and the Jebusites, and the Amorites dwell in the mountains, and the Canaanites dwell by the sea, and by the coast of Jordan. Verse 30. And Caleb stilled the people before Moses and said, let us go up at once and possess it, for we are well able to overcome it.
Yeah, so he was like, man, let's go. We ready.
Right.
We're strong. We could take on them. Go ahead.
Verse 31. But the men that went up with him said, we be not able to go up against the people.
But there were some cowards in there too. There were some cowards that said, man, nah, man, we can't do that. There were some brothers in there that didn't have the spirit of the Most High like they're supposed to. When the Lord how the Lord wants us to feel when we serve Him is that nothing can stop us.
Right.
That we can do anything. That we're unstoppable. We can't be defeated. There's nothing that there's a scripture that says, and I say it, but in Christianity you used to use it and kind of, but now I embrace it because it's the truth. There's just a scripture that says, if the Lord is with us, who is against us?
Right.
If the Lord is that's how that other brother felt. He's like, man, let's go. That's how David felt when he fought Goliath. Who even dares to stand up against us? The children of the living power. That's the attitude that if we knew who we were, if we knew we were the daughters and the daughters of Zion, the princes of the power, we wouldn't hurt each other, first of all, and then we wouldn't let nobody else hurt us.
Right.
And then we would feel that we would not have this complex where we're inferior.
Okay.
We would have the superior complex. Go ahead.
We will not. We be not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we. Verse 32. And they brought up an evil report of the land.
And they brought up a what?
An evil report.
An evil report, a bad report. I was like, man, go ahead.
Of the land which they had searched unto the children of Israel, saying, the land through which we have gone to search it is a land that eateth up the inhabitants thereof. And all the people that we saw in it are men of great stature.
So it was like, man, look, it's a bad land, and everybody in there is like great stature. I mean, they're tall, they're big. Go ahead.
Verse 33. And there we saw the giants, the sons of Anak, which come of the giants. And we were in our own sight as grasshoppers, and so we were in their sight.
And then they saw, and I let me ask about this, but I believe this is more like on the physical side. Like they were bigger than, some of the heathens be big and they're tall, but they ain't no good. Like it don't matter. Some of the heathens, like some of them Hamites be, the so-called Africans be tall, but they ain't no good. Is some of them Elamites be big and stuff, but they ain't no, they can't. When have you seen the greatest, Elamite boxer? When have you seen the greatest, so-called African boxer, or the greatest? You might see, a Filipino in there. They might throw it in there. He ain't even the greatest. Go ahead. What you gonna say,
I
Bob?
was gonna say like N.W.O, that Hamite basketball player. He was like 7'6", 7'7", and he tried to get in the boxing ring, got knocked out.
And not even that. And just in the sporting period, it might have been all right because they were tall. Yao Ming was just tall, but he wasn't no. I mean, I never was impressed.
Yeah, I had a little bit.
I mean, he can play, but what I'm saying is, I was never like, okay.
Nah, he wasn't messing with Shaq.
Yeah, I mean, it's just for every one of their greatest, we got one that's greater. Go ahead.
Kobe dunked all on him.
Yeah, so it's just like either way. What I'm trying to say is that this guy would say, "Nah, man, they're big. It's too, they're powerful. It's an evil." He brought back an evil report. They were scared. Go ahead.
Come. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 14, verse 1. And all the congregation lifted up their voice and cried, and the people wept that night.
And then it made the people scared.
Right.
Like fear is a disease, man.
Damn right.
Like, and that's what plagues the Black and Hispanic community also. Fear of serving the Most High. Because listen, a lot of brothers find the truth, and then they're too afraid to come serve the Most High because they're afraid what might happen to at their job, or what would their families say about it. Oh man, I can't. This is the truth. This is how you serve the Lord, by keeping His law, statutes, and commandments. And this is the door that gets you there. The Israelite School, UPK. But a lot of brothers won't do it because they're afraid.
Right.
They're afraid. And we can't fear, and we can't have fear when we serve the Most High power. We got to be all in it and be bold and be brave about it. But these people, because once you do that, you put fear in the rest. And these guys brought their report, and now the people were scared because they said these things. They were like, man, oh my God, what's going on? Go ahead.
Verse 2. And all the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron.
Right.
And the whole congregation said unto them, would God that we had died in the land of Egypt, or would God we had died in this wilderness?
So basically, he was saying, man, listen, read it again. Read that again.
The whole.
Yeah, read that where they murmured against Moses and Aaron.
And all the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron. And the whole congregation said unto them, would the Most High that we had died in the land of Egypt, or would the Most High we had died in this wilderness?
They're basically saying, man, look, we might as well have died in the land of Egypt.
Right.
We might as well have died in the wilderness. If we're going to come and die against these people, they were afraid because of the report that the other guys brought. And they murmured and they said their report. They shouldn't have said nothing. And now the people scared, and they're like, man, it'd have been better, once again, they go there, Black Hispanic people talk. Good night. Like, it was like, man, God might as well killed us in the wilderness. God might as well killed us in Egypt. He brought us over here to kill us anyway. Always doubting the Most High's power. Even after they seen everything else. Go ahead. That's our people right there. That's our people. That's us. That's the mentality that we've been had, and the Lord has been wanting to filter that for a while. And it's going to get filtered. Don't worry. It is. It is. But our people always just being doubtful of the Lord's power. Doubtful because of adversity, because of a challenge. That's what life is about. That's just the whole purpose of life. What would 50 Cent? Death wouldn't be so easy if life was. What would he say? What was that rap? 50 Cent. Rain wouldn't be so. You know that verse he said? Death got to be easy because life is hard. You know what I'm saying? Or he said something like, yeah, something like that. But he said something in regards to nothing has a. Yeah, what I'm saying is, rewards don't come without a challenge.
Right.
You don't even feel like if you get rewarded and then it wasn't hard, and it ain't even nothing.
Right.
And that's what life is about. That's what the kingdom of heaven is going to be like. A big reward after all the suffering that you had to endure against yourself and your flesh and this kingdom. And that's what he was trying to, the Lord, even through the wilderness, through the being free from the Egyptians' oppression, what was the great reward? That land. That was the reward. It was one more step to that. It was one more little, and it was about to be easy. The Lord was just, Moses, they were just giving instructions. Go ahead. Is that it? At the end of verse?
Verse 2.
Let me read
3 to 9.
all right. 3 to 9.
Okay.
The book of Numbers, chapter 14, verse 3. Yeah, excuse my I got this pollen has got me all congested. All right. Walama Walama'a Yahweh Mabaya Athanwa Al Ha'arataza Haza'ath Lanapal Bakarab Nashayanwa Watapanwa Yahayawa Labaza Halawa'a Tawab Lanwa. You know what Tawab is, right? What's that? Good. Shawab Matazarayim Matazaraimha.
I think in this verse is better.
Yeah, the same thing. Good, better. Matazaraimha. Verse 4. Waya Amarwa Ayash Al Akayawa Nathana Ra'ash Wanashawabha Matazarayama. Verse 5. Wayapal Masha Wa'aran Al Pan Yaham Lapanya Kal Quahal Idath Banya Yasha'ala. Verse 6. Wayahawashya Salakia Wayahawasha Ban that a sa or the wa
Which one?
right after ban.
Oh, that's
The sun or the one?
that's a why.
The one Nawana Salakia. Yeah, boys. Nawana Wakalab Ban Yapanha Yapana Ban Harayam Ath. Is it Harayam? Hatharium. Okay. Ath Ha'arataza Quara Bagad Yaham. Verse 7. Waya Amarwa Al Kal Idath Banya Yasha'ala La'amar Ha'arataza Ashar Ibaradwa Baha Lahawar Atha Tawa'a Aharataza Ma'ad. Verse 8. Amah Kapataza Banawa Yahweh Wahabaya Athanwa Al Ha'arataza Haza'ath One Thana Wathana what's a like it? Wanath nah Ladawa Arataza Ashar no so like it Ashar Hawa'ah, Zaba'ath, Kalab, Zad. Like what was that? Which one is that? Zawath, Talab.
After Kalab, bro.
Where you at? Where you at? Where you at?
You just read Kalab. Right after Kalab.
Kalab, yeah.
The next one is Zawah.
Yeah, that's what I said. Wadabash.
Yeah, you said Zad.
Okay, Salakia. It looked like a sa a little bit.
Come.
All right, that's the end of verse 9. That's the end of verse 8, right? I gotta do one more, okay. Aka, verse 9. Aka, that's probably together, ain't it? That word together or separate? No, that's ak.
That's Ak.
Seems like it. Go to verse 8. Where's verse 8 over here?
Verse 9. I think it's
Aka, okay. Aka, by Yahweh, Salakia. Al, Thamar, Dawa, Wa Atham, Al, Thayara'awa, Thayara'awa, Ath, Aim, Ha'arataza, Kaya, Lakam, Nawa, Ham, Sar, Tasalam, Ba'ilayaham, Wayahawa, Athanwa, Al, Thayara'am. That's the end of verse 9.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 14, verse 3. And wherefore hath the Most High brought us unto this land to fall by the sword, that our wives and our children should be a prey? Were it not better for us to return into Egypt?
So they'll go and get our people saying, man, all this to come get killed by these heathens. We should have just died in Egypt. We should have just went back to Egypt. You see? Go ahead.
Come. Verse 4. And they said one to another, let us make a captain, and let us return into Egypt. Verse 5.
What do you say again? Read it again.
Verse 4. And they said unto one another, let us make a captain, and let us return into Egypt.
And there you go. It's people that rather leave the truth to go back to something that is similar to what they used to be. Because I'm going to tell you what about coming in the Israelite school UPK. It's not easy being in here. It's not easy, and I wouldn't want it any different. I wouldn't want it any different because this is what keep a man disciplined, a sister disciplined, and people want to be comfortable. I was told that we had to be uncomfortable for our brothers and our sisters. If it's comfortable, then you should concern yourself. It ain't quite time yet to be comfortable. So the Israelite school UPK, man, it ain't for everybody, man. It ain't easy being here, man. This is an army. This is a military. And the military, nothing is easy. Because military people prepare for what? What is their preparation for? For war. Like all of those drills that the nations and their militaries have been preparing for. They always talk about, there was just a drill. They had a drill. China had a drill. They was drilling. They gotta prepare. What's a military that doesn't prepare? It's no good. They're going to die in the first. They ain't gonna be no good. So just like that, just like the other nations' military, except for our military, the Lord's UPK, which is the Lord's army, we prepare, we fight, we prepare, we drill against our flesh. We prepare for when the Lord come back, when Christ come back, and He gonna do the fighting for us. because we just be so worthy of it. But it's still a military. We still prepare like for war. And that's what, is hard about in the UPK. It's hard being in here. It's not easy, but it is life-saving, guys. And um, they want some people want to be like this brother, like these people want to, break off and go back to something that's comfortable, like Egypt. Go ahead.
It's the book of Numbers, chapter 14 and verse 5. Then Moses and Aaron fell on their faces before all the assembly of the congregation of the children of Israel. Verse 6. And Joshua, the son of Nun, and Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, which were of them that searched the land, rent their clothes. Verse 7.
They were mad. Those guys were like, they rent their clothes. They was like, what? Go ahead. Like that. That's Hulk Hogan. You know how that Hulk Hogan do that thing? Okay. Like you had to be really strong. And I'm pretty sure the fabric back then had to be there 10 times harder than a day. Go ahead.
Verse 7. And they spake unto all the company of the children of Israel, saying, the land which we passed through to search it is an exceeding good land. Verse 8. If the Most High delight in us, then he will bring us into this land and give it to us, the land which floweth with milk and honey.
He said, these guys were like, man, nah, what the hell y'all talking about going back to Egypt? That land is good. That land that's the land. And if the Lord, the Lord delights in us, he will give it to us. He delighted us so far. Yeah, he killed some of us because we're gonna go into that verse. Go ahead and read the other verse.
Verse 9. Only rebel not ye against the Most High, neither fear ye the people of the land, for they are bread for us.
Ooh.
Their defense is departed from them.
Ooh.
And the Most High is with us.
Ooh, man, that's heavy. Go ahead, read it again.
Verse 9. Only rebel not ye against the Most High, neither fear ye the people of the land, for they are bread for us. Their defense is departed from them, and the Most High is with us. Fear them not.
Man, that's once again, that's Israelite talk. That's black Hispanics, and they're bread for us. They're food for us. They're easy work. What Floyd Mayweather say, easy work. They're bread for us, man. Don't be afraid of them. They don't have no defense. They don't have power. And it's heavy how he said it. Their defense is what is departed from them. Meaning, listen, because just like today, right, in America, I remember General Muhammad said, listen, when we don't serve our power, our power is against us, and he's with them. Right. Not in a way like he's their God, but he's on their side because he's the Lord is making it possible for those other nations to be over us, right, and conquer us and destroy us the way they do because he's not with us. Right. So if he's not with us, he's with them. Not like he's giving them the commandments or he's he's telling them you're my children. More like, you know what, I got you. I'm gonna teach my people a lesson. I'm gonna be on your side for a little bit. Mm-hmm. And he said it like this. He was like, man, he ain't with them. He's with us now. Right. The Lord is with us now. So their defense, the protection, the little protection that they have from the Lord is no longer with them. He's with us now. Just like today, if our people start serving the Most High, he'll leave that protection of America. He'll stop protecting America. Right. Because for a long time, the Lord was protecting America. For a while, just like he protected Babylon and Nebuchadnezzar. When the Lord spake to Nebuchadnezzar when Daniel was over, he told him how great Babylon was and how all the nations come to him. And the Lord is with other nations at some point in time, but only when he's not with us. Right. Only when the Lord is not with us, he's with the other nations. Because that's the only way they can defeat us. Right. I mean, that's the only way you can conquer, so-called black man that can jump 10 feet in the air, man. Right. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? That's the only way you can conquer them mean Puerto Ricans, them strong ass Cubans, them Mexicans that work like they got animal work ethic. Like you can't conquer people like that if the Lord ain't with you. You just can't. And that's what that brother was saying. He's saying, look, man, don't be afraid. They're easy work to us. He knew it. He's like, man, they're easy. And on top of that, the Lord is no longer with them. He with us. Don't be afraid of them. Go ahead, pick it up from what's the next verse?
Verse 10.
How many verses we got?
We
Two
got
more,
three
two
more
more,
sets.
2 more sets, right?
3 more. I did one, you did one, I did one, you did one.
That's 4.
So we got 3 more.
I did one. You did one. I did one. Then you did one. Then I did one. I just did this last one, right? All right. Read another one. Read another one in Hebrew.
Come. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 14, verse 10. Waya Amarwa, Kal, Ha'ida, Laraga, Laragawam, Atham, Ba'a Bunyam, Waka Bawad, Bakabawad, Yahweh, Nara'ah, Ba'ahal, Mawa'id, Al, Kal, Bunya, Yasha'Allah. Verse 11. Waya Amar, Yahweh, Al, Masha, Aid, Aida, Ana, Yana, Tazan, Tazan, Tazania.
Which one is that? 11.
Khan. Wana, Tazanaya.
Is that a wall or ya?
Ya.
Yan, Yana, Tasanya.
Yana, Tazania. Khan, the water. Ha'aim, Hazah, Wa'aid. Is that Wa'ida? Wa'ida. Wa'ida.
Wa'aid.
Wa'aid. Ana. La'a. Ya'a. One. Wa'a. Wa'ama. Yanawa. Baya. Bakal. Ha'a. Sawath. Ashar. Aisha. Yathya. Bakarabwa. Verse 12. Akanwa. Badabar. Wa'a. Wa'a Rosh Noah. Wa'a Aisha. Athad. Laga Lagawaya.
Lagalia. Where is that at?
Verse 12. Lagalia. Got a wall. What I taza wam.
Yeah.
Mamanwa. Verse 13. Waya Amar. Masha. Al Yahweh. Washamaiwa, Matazarium, Matazarium, Kaya, Ha'al, Ha'alayath, Bakakad, Ath, Ha'aim, Hazah, Makorabwa. Verse 14. Wa Amarwa, Al, Yawa Shab, Ha'arataza, Haza'af, Shamaiwa, Shamaiwa,
Where's that at?
14. Shamaiwa, Kaya, Atha, Yahweh, Bakorab, Ha'aim, Hazah, Ashar, Iwan, Ayan, Ba'ayan, Nara'ah, Atha, Yahweh, Ya'ain, Ya'ainanah, Ya'ainanak, Imad, Ilham, Waba Imad, Ainan, Atha, Halak, Lapagayaham, Yawamam, Waba Imad, Wabai, my word, Ash, Layala, verse 15. Waham Matha, Ath, Ha'aim, Hazah, Ka'ayash, Akkad, Wa'amarwa, Hagalium, Ashar, Shamaiwa, Ath, Shama'id, La'amar, verse 16. Madalathia, Yakalath, Yahweh, Lahabia, Ath, Ha'aim, Hazah, Al, Ha'arataza, Ashar, Nashabai, Laham, Waya Shaktum, Bama Debar. That's the end of verse 16.
Go ahead, take it from the English.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 14, and verse 10. But all the congregation bade stone them with stones. Good night.
It was like, man, hell no. You crazy. Look, you keep talking that we're gonna stone you and
Right.
kill you. Go ahead.
And the glory of the Most High appeared in the tabernacle of the congregation before all the children of Israel. Verse 11. And the Most High said unto Moses, how long will this people provoke me? And how long will it be ere they believe me?
So the Lord's like, man, the Lord's fed up by this time.
Right.
He's fed up with us at this time. The Lord has a lot of patience. The Most High has a lot of patience and a lot of mercy. But listen, you know how they say ignorant is bliss? Well, Black Hispanics, Native American Indians, now we pretty much live in ignorance of the truth. We're ignorant of the truth. So the Lord is having a lot of patience with us because in this day and age where we live as a people, we don't know that we're the lowest people. I mean, there's a few, like the Isupk is like that 1% of our people, but as a nation, there's millions of us. Guys, we're ignorant of who we are. So the Lord is having patience with us, but when He brought us out of Egypt, everybody in the wilderness that He took out of Egypt, they knew, they seen everything. They seen the pillar of fire, guys. They seen the Red Sea get parted. And if they didn't see it and they grew up, they heard about it, and it was like real recent, so they knew something. They seen the miracle. They seen the tabernacle. They seen the manna for the angels. They seen the rock that the water came out of. They seen every great miracle, and the Lord's like, man, how long is these people gonna be like this? Like we had to be. I can only imagine, man. That's how we were coming out of Egypt. But just like we're in America, you know. But now it's harder. It's hard. That's why it's more of a miracle when brothers change their life and come into the truth to serve the Most High, because we seen it back then, and we were still rebellious by eyes. We wanted to go back to Egypt. We wanted to go be servants again instead of serving the Lord because that was too hard.
Okay.
But now that we live in this captivity, and when we show our people what's going on, they're seeing what's going on with the nations, and they read it here, but it's harder to believe. That's why Christ said, "Blessed are those who didn't see and believe," and that's us. But the Lord back then, He was like, "Man, how long would these people right here? I showed them all the miracles, and how long? Go ahead."
For all the signs which I have shewed among them. Verse 12. I will smite them with a pestilence and disinherit them and will make of thee a greater nation.
And He was like, man, I would just go ahead and get rid of them. Let me get rid of them right now. I'm going to get rid of them right now. I'm going to just smite them with a pestilence. I'm going to say coronavirus real quick. I'm going to just get rid of them because they just ain't going to listen. Go ahead.
And I will make of thee a greater nation and mightier than they.
He was like, I'll just raise up a nation out of you, Moses. It ain't the Israelites no more. It's the Moshites. He's like, forget the Israelites. We'll just make the Moshites. It don't matter. They be stronger than them. They be stronger than these weaklings. Go ahead.
Verse 13. And Moses said unto the Most High, then the Egyptians shall hear it.
And now Moses was wise, man. And he was a brother. And he had brotherhood. Moses had real brotherhood, man, just like Christ. He was like, man, no, that ain't how you do it. Now he ain't telling the Lord what to do, but he's being wise with the Lord. He said, man, then the Egyptians are going to say what?
Then the Egyptians shall hear it. For thou broughtest up this people in thy might from among them. Verse 14. And they will tell it to the inhabitants of this land, for they have heard that the Most High art among this people, that thou, the Most High, art seen face to face, and that thy cloud standeth over them, and that thou goest before them by daytime in a pillar of a cloud, and in a pillar of fire by night. Verse 15. Now if thou shalt kill all this people as one man.
He's saying then they will hear all the things that you did, like I was just saying. Like then they will hear about this. That you did all these things for these people. You went there in a pillar of fire and a cloud by night and all these miracles. They're going to hear about all these things you did for them. The Egyptians know about the Red Sea being parted. Their army drowned in it. They're going to be like, what would they say? Go ahead.
Then the nations which have heard the fame of thee will speak, saying, verse 16, because the Most High was not able to bring this people into the land which he sware unto them, therefore he hath slain them in the wilderness.
Listen, and then Moses was like, look, he cared. Look, he cared about the Most High's reputation. He said, man, he ain't telling them what to do, but he was wise about it. And he's a brother. So he's like, he was really doing it to protect us. Go ahead.
And I hear Sarnetta like the question, like Captain Zariak and other people all the time. He always posed this question right here.
Right.
He's like, well, how can Moses had to check the Most High. Like he don't realize he's not checking the Most High.
He ain't checking the Most High.
He's not checking the Most High. What the Most High always knew what he was going to do.
Right.
Moses just showing how much of a brother he is.
Right.
And his was like, it's not an indictment against the Most High.
Right.
It should be for you to look at how great of a man Moses was.
Right.
How much
Exactly.
he had.
Damn right. And like you can't check the Most High first of all.
Exactly.
And if he wanted to do it, he would have did it anyway.
Right.
And he didn't care if other nations heard it. He killed every other nation too. Right. It didn't matter. He just get rid of the earth in general. Right. Who gonna know? Right. Who can be? It's the Most High. But Moses is just saying like, look, Lord, they gonna be like, man, you swore them this land and you just couldn't bring it through. You just couldn't. Not that you couldn't bring it through. It's just more so on the people wasn't worthy enough. Right. Not that the Lord couldn't do it. It's more so like, man, the people didn't even deserve it. Right. And you just did all of this for them. You showed all your might and power for them, and they didn't even deserve it. They didn't even want it. That's the difference. Like that's how we got to look at things. Like, look, we need to deserve this kingdom. This kingdom, we got to, like the Israelites, we fight to deserve the kingdom of heaven, man.
Right.
And we're not going to deserve the kingdom of heaven by being stuck in the ways of America. So Moses is just like, look, Lord, they're going to hear about this and then they're going to say, he was just not checking it. He was just making a suggestion. Go ahead.
That's the end.
Go ahead, just read up. We're going to finish up the last. Read another in English.
Come. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 14, and verse 17. And now, I beseech thee, let the power of my...
Salakia Khan says, Sister Shakara says, she's like, Salakia, Moses appears to be just reasoning with the Most High, not checking him. Yeah, he's just saying, look, Lord, think about this. Just, let's not kill him yet. He's like, look, Salakia, sir, if I could, just make a small suggestion about this before we get ahead of ourselves here for a little bit. Not saying that the Lord can do whatever he want to do. He's the Lord. He's the Most High. Who can stop the Lord from doing whatever he want to do? He created the earth. He created the sun, the stars, and everything that exists in this universe. That's him. That's his power. That's his might. I mean, if you look into what American scientists say, this is, galaxies and violent things in the universe that explode and I don't know what's going on in those areas, but the Lord can do whatever he want to do. Put it like that. So Moses is just being like, hey, Salaki, sir. Can we not do that yet? Is there any way we can avoid that for this reason? Go ahead.
Verse 17. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 14, verse 17. And now I beseech thee, let the power of the Most High be great, according as thou hast spoken, saying. Verse 18. The Most High is long suffering and of great mercy, forgiving iniquity and transgression, and by no means clearing the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation Verse 19.
So it said, and now I beseech thee, let the power of the Lord be great, according as thou hast spoken, saying, the Lord is long suffering, saying the Lord is patient. He's saying this is what they should say instead, that the Lord is patient. He's patient with these people, and great mercy, that he's more merciful and long suffering, forgiving iniquity and transgression, and by no means clearing the guilty. He's saying, but he's just, basically. He's saying and great forgiving iniquity. It means the Lord forgives. He forgives transgression, but by no means he clears the guilty. By no means he doesn't punish. He forgives it, but don't think that he's soft. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 19. Pardon, I beseech thee, the iniquity of this people according unto the greatness of thy mercy.
And he says, and the word pardon meaning what? Salakia, sir. Salakia. I beseech thee. Go ahead.
And as thou hast forgiven this people from Egypt even until now. Verse 20. And the Most High said, I have pardoned according to thy word. Verse 21. But as truly as I live, all the earth shall be filled with the glory of the Most High.
And he's like, man, you right, Moses. You right. I will pardon. You spoken wisely. That's why I chose you. You're wise. Mm-hmm. But let it be known that my glory will be filled in this earth. Go ahead.
Verse 22. Because all those men which have seen my glory and my miracles, which I did in Egypt and in the wilderness, and have tempted me now these 10 times, and have not hearkened to my voice. Verse 23. Surely they shall not see the land which I swear unto their fathers, neither shall any of them that provoke me see it.
He's saying, but look, don't get it twisted. I'm gonna be merciful. I ain't gonna destroy this nation, just like he hasn't destroyed us yet. Just like he hasn't destroyed us yet, but he has punished us. He has punished us. He's saying, don't worry about it. I ain't gonna destroy him. I ain't gonna just obliterate him from existence. But I will. Those people that have seen the miracles, I got something for them. Don't worry about it. They just ain't gonna see the land. Go ahead.
Just like what Moses was saying in verse 18.
Yeah.
That he forgive and
have
mercy.
But he don't clear the guilty. He don't clear the guilty. Just like the oppressor ain't clear of his sins and his transgressions against God. Don't think because America's so great now that he's forgotten of the evils that they do. Or the rest of the nations. That's who the Lord is. The Lord ain't no punk. He ain't soft. He's long-suffering. He's patient. And he's merciful. But by no means is the Lord going to forgive the guilty. Go ahead. Clear the guilty from their punishment. Go ahead. Because even in the kingdom of heaven, some of these other nations that have been evil against us will be in the kingdom, not in the kingdom of heaven, not be part of the kingdom. They'll exist still as servants. And that's merciful in a way, by eyes. You know, ain't no kingdom without no servants. And the other nation is a time for the other nations to serve. It's a time for them to serve now. So the Lord ain't forget the sins of America, and the oppressor especially. He's just got total punishment. He's gonna definitely get cleared from the face of existence anyway. You know, but first he gotta pay his debt.
Right.
You know, go ahead.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 14 and verse 24. But my servant Caleb, because he had another spirit with him, and hath followed me fully, him will I bring into the land whereinto he went, and his seed shall possess it.
He said, nah, but Caleb, that's different, you know, because he didn't doubt me not once. That's the guy that said, man, don't be scared. This is bread and butter for us. Right. He's like, there ain't nothing. And the Lord is with us. He's like, his spirit different. So I'm gonna bring him, I'm bringing him into the land, and his seed gonna do it. There's a scripture that says that the Lord should not forsaken the righteous, or his seed beg for bread. That's how we got to think about serving the Most High. That there is a reward for serving the Most High in Christ. that the Lord won't forsake us, and our seed won't be forsaken either. Go ahead.
Verse 25. Now the Amalekites and the Canaanites dwelt in the valley. Tomorrow turn you and get you into the wilderness by the way of the Red Sea. Verse 26. And the Most High spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, verse 27, how long shall I bear with this evil congregation, which murmur against me? I have heard the murmurings of the children of Israel, which they murmur against me. Verse 28, say unto them, as truly as I live, saith the Most High, as ye have spoken in mine ears, so will I do to you. Verse 29, your carcasses shall fall in this wilderness, and all that were numbered of you, according to your whole number, from 20 years old and upward, which have murmured against me. Verse 30, doubtless ye shall not come into the land.
So the Lord was like, okay, take these people to the wilderness, and these brothers, right, these guys right here, they just kept murmuring against me. They just kept doubting me, and because they're old enough, they ain't little children no more. They understand. They seen these things. Those people, I'm gonna get rid of them. The Lord punishes, man. 20, because that's an adult. That's an adult. It's a grown man, grown woman. You have some type of reasoning now. The Lord said, I'm getting rid of you. Listen, that's why I understand how things operate here in this Israelite school, UPK. It's got to operate the way it does, my eyes. And sometimes when things come down, there's no mercy. It ain't no mercy. When the things is the Lord gives opportunity for us to fix ourselves, man. Go ahead.
Kind of, it's sort of like that. You see that being in this truth. Like a lot of the older generation just too stuck in their ways.
Salakia, the sis says, Salakia, what does the last part of verse 18 mean? Visiting the iniquities of the fathers upon of the fathers upon children. Well, just like today, because our forefathers kept disobeying. Look at where we're at. Our father's sins is the reason we went into slavery. Our father's sins is the reason why the other nations are on top of us. Our father's sins and their disobedience and their rebellious spirit is the reason why we're in America as slaves and servants and dishwashers and the poorest and gang violence, crack epidemic, all the suffering that our people do is because of our fathers' iniquities, because of their sins. Go ahead.
Just a question. Could it also be as like you could use this as reincarnation type of stuff too?
Yeah, because
we all that third and fourth generation.
We're the children. We're the children of our forefathers. So the iniquity that they committed, the Lord visits that iniquity all the way further down our lineage. Like, listen, like, yeah, they did it. They died. And some of them made it, okay, just like America today, right? It wasn't the oppressors, the children of the oppressor, they just they reaping the benefits of slaving the children of Israel, right? But some of them don't really, like, that's where the whole critical race theory and all of that stuff come from, where they're like, man, why is it my fault? I didn't have nothing to do with it. I didn't have nothing to do with it. It wasn't my fault. I'm just here. I'm just living here now. But I'm still enjoying every great benefit of that. So it was obtained to criminal acts and wickedness. So, that's why that's why the oppressors become atheists. Because they're like, no. That can't happen. There ain't no such a thing. That's just part of life. No. That's what their iniquity, their forefathers' iniquity, the Lord's going to pay a visit to them too. And it's going to happen now. And the Lord, and then you go to Ezekiel and the other prophets, and it says how the Lord will make Mount Seir desolate and all of those. Every nation has their punishment, and the Lord dealt with us too, and He disciplined us too. And He was saying that He will visit those people iniquity all the way down to the children. That's why we're here. And we kept disobeying. The Lord is He's visiting right. He visited us at like what during the '80s and the crack epidemic and the Spanish conquest and the Trail of Tears. All of that was a visit from the Lord to pay back what our forefathers, committed. But it's a time for the end. He didn't destroy us. The water, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, that He didn't destroy us completely. We're still here. We found the truth, boys. We know now. Anyway, if that gets any clarity to the sister, go ahead, boys. Keep reading. How many more verses we got?
Just the last verse.
Okay.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 14 and verse 30. Doubtless ye shall not come into the land, concerning which I swear to make you dwell therein, save Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, and Joshua, the son of Nun.
Those are the only two from that generation of people that were going to be able to come into the land. All the other tribes, all the little children under the age of 20, they to wild because they had no saying in the matter. Yeah, they were children. They couldn't murmur against the Lord is because everybody got together in one consent. Just like the Christian church is murmuring against the Lord. Those Christian pastors and religious leaders, they taken the people, they gotten the people to destruction because they murmur against the Lord, saying that the Lord loves everybody and bringing up lies about the truth. And the children, though, they got we all have an opportunity to change, but the Lord didn't have mercy on some of them because they had seen a lot of things. They witnessed a lot of things, and they were still kind of ungrateful by us. And except for Caleb and Joshua, and those are the only two people. Not even Moses got into the promised land. By that's crazy. Not even Moses. Moses didn't even get into the promised land because he disobeyed one time. But it made it so worse because he was the one that pretty much talked to the Lord face to face. That's how mad the Lord was at Moses when he disobeyed it and he didn't get into the promised land. It's like, I'm talking to you face to face. For you to be disobedient, it's like, okay, everybody else, okay, but you seen my power in firsthand. Anyway, so that's the end of verse. That's the end of the 7 verses, boys. And with that, listen, man, this is a great story. Like we're getting ready to go to the ISUPK, the Lord's 53rd, boys, 53rd Passover, man. Where we're gonna celebrate the destruction of the Egyptians, man, and really pray for the destruction of America and the rest of the nations. While the earth is going to be in war, we're going to be, serving the Lord, and that'll be, with the intent that the Lord hear our prayers, look down on us and say, man, it's almost time, So with that said, man, we're going to end it right here.
Imagine, stand. Men of Israel, gird up thy loins and prepare to salute the Torah.
Yahaba Shib Yah Shabaraka Yah.
Yahaba Shib Yah Shabaraka Yah.
All right.
Which means turn and face the east. We'll say the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa.
Abanawa.
Shabashamayim.
Shabashamayim.
Kodash.
Kodash.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Shemka.
Shemka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Malakuka.
Malathaka.
Taba'ah.
Taba'ah.
Ratazaka.
Ratazaka.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Ba'arataza.
Baharataza.
Kawa.
Kawa.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Bashamayim.
Bashamayim.
Nathalanawa.
Nathalanawa.
Lakam.
Lakam.
Kal.
Kal.
Yawam.
Yawam.
Wasalakanawa.
Wasalaklanawa.
Kabawathnawa.
Kawawathnawa.
Kasalaknawa.
Kasalaknawa.
Kabawathinawa.
Kawawathinawa.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Tabayanawa.
Tabayanawa.
Manasaya 1.
Manasaya 1.
Abal.
Abal.
Hawashanawa.
Shanawa.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Ra.
Rai.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Laka.
Laka.
Hamalak.
Hamalakwa.
Waha'ala.
Waha'ala.
Wathapara.
Watapara.
La'awalamium.
Lawalamium.
Aman.
Aman in English, our Father,
Our Father.
which art in heaven.
Which art in heaven.
Hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done
Thy will be done.
in earth
In earth.
as it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day
Give us this day.
our daily bread.
Our daily bread.
And forgive us our debt
Forgive us our debts.
as we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not
Lead us not
into temptation,
into temptation.
but deliver us
But deliver us
from evil.
from evil.
For thine is the kingdom
For thine is the kingdom
and the power
and the power
and the glory
and the glory
forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it. This is the prayer for the power. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Hashem Yahushai.
Baba Kushah.
Baba Kushah.
Nathalanawa.
Athalanawa.
Hakak.
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 Larapa'ah.
Larapa'ah.
Ka Makala.
Ka Makala.
Wakal Marawa.
Ka Marawa.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Latahar.
Latahar.
Hamatazarayim.
Habatazarayim.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Lahakwim.
Lahaquium.
Hamathium.
Hamathium.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Arakawath.
Arakawath.
Hatama'ala.
Hatama'ala.
Lagarashan.
Lagarashan.
Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Bahashim Yahushai.
The water Aman.
The water Amma in the English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of
In
Yahushai.
the name of Yahushai.
Please
Please
give us the power.
give us the power.
The power to heal
The power to heal
all manner of sickness
all manner of sickness
and all manner of
and
disease.
all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean
The
spirits.
power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
Cast them out.
In the name of Yahushai.
In the name of Yahushai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. This is the prayer for the blessings. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Wa Yahushai.
Wa Yahushai.
Wa Mayaka Allah.
Wa Mayaka Allah.
Wa Alahayim.
Wa Alahayim.
Matazabiyah.
Matazabiyah.
Alawap Yahana.
Alawap Yahana.
Ha Alawap.
Ha Alawapium.
Ha Saranyam.
Hasaranyum.
Ha Quatazayanyam.
Ha Quatasayanyum.
Ha Koyoyoyam.
Ha Koyoyoyum.
Wa Ha Aquatim.
Wa Ha Awathium.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Hashem Yahushai.
The water Aman.
The water Amma in the English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahushai.
And Yahushai.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yahana.
Commanding General Yahana.
The generals.
The generals.
The captains.
Captains.
The officers.
Officers.
The troopers. And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of
In
Yahushai.
the name of Yahushai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. This is Psalm 121. Asha'ah.
Asha'ah.
Ayanya.
Ayanya.
Ahaharyam.
Ahaharium.
Ma'ayan.
Mahayan.
Yaba'ah.
Yaba'ah.
Isariah.
Isaiah.
Isariah.
Isaiah.
Ma'aim.
Ma'ai.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Shamayam.
Shamayam.
Wa'arataza.
Waharataza.
Al-Yathan.
Ayathan.
Lamawat.
Lamawat.
Regalka.
Regalka.
Al-Yanawam.
Ayanawam.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Hana.
Hana.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Yayashan.
Yayashan.
Shawamar.
Shawamar.
Yasha'ala.
Yasha'ala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Tazalka.
Tazalka.
Al-Yad.
Al-Yad.
Yamyaka.
Yamyaka.
Yawamam.
Yawamam.
Hashimash.
Hashamash.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yakaka.
Yakaka.
Wayarak.
Wayarak.
Balayala.
Balayala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamarka.
Makal Rai.
Kalrai.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Athnapashka.
Abnapashka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Taza'afka.
Taza'athka.
Wabawa'aka.
Wabawa'aka.
Mayatha.
Mayatha.
Wa'aidai
All
walam.
right, I will love in the English. I will lift up mine eyes.
I will lift up mine eyes.
From whence cometh my help? Salakia. Hold on. So did we read this one already? I read the English. Did I? Did I? All right, let's go.
Come on, come on.
I will lift up my eyes
I will lift up mine eyes
unto the hills.
unto the hills.
From where cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh,
My help cometh from Yahweh,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be
He
moved.
will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth
he
Yasha'Allah
that keepeth Yahshua
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee
Yahweh shall preserve
from
thee
all evil.
from all evil.
Yahweh shall preserve thy, he shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming
from
in
this time forth
from this time forth
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore. This is Psalm 83. Alahayim,
Alahayim,
Al Damayalaka,
Adamayalaka,
Al Dakarash,
Altakarash,
Wa Al Tashakwat,
Altashakwat,
Al
Al,
Kayahana,
Kayahana,
Al Yabyaka,
Awayabyaka,
Yahama,
Yahama,
Yawan,
Yawan,
Ra'ash,
Ra'ash,
Al Imaka,
Aimaka,
Yara'im, Ya'irayamu,
Yawayamwa,
Sawada,
Sawada,
Wayatha,
Wayatha,
Ya'itazawa,
Yaitazawa,
Al Tazapawanyaka,
Altazapawanyaka,
Amarwa,
Amarwa,
Lakawa,
Lakawa,
Wanakakira,
Wanakakiram,
Magalia,
Magalia,
Wala'a,
Wala'a,
Yazakar,
Yazakar,
Sham Yasha'ala,
Shavyasha'ala,
Iwada,
Iwada,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Nawa'ai Tazawa,
Nawaitazawa,
Laba,
Laba,
Yakadwa,
Yakadwa,
Al Yaka,
Alyaka,
Baryath,
Bariath,
Yakarathwa,
Yakarathwa,
Ahalya,
Ahawya,
Adawam,
Adawab,
Wa Yashemai,
Wayashamai,
Alayam,
Alayam,
Mawa'aba,
Mawaaba,
Wahagaria,
Wahagariam,
Gabal,
Gabal,
Wa'aimawan,
Wayamawam,
Wa'aimalak,
Wayamalak,
Palashath,
Palashath,
I'm Yeshabia,
Al-Yashabia,
Tazawar,
Tazawar,
Gam Ashur,
Gamashawar,
Nalawa,
Ladawa,
Imam,
Imam,
Hayawa,
Hayawa,
Zarawai,
Zarawai,
Labanya Lawat,
Labanya Lawat,
Salah,
Salah,
Aisha Laham,
Ashalaham,
Kamadian,
Kamadian,
Kasiyah,
Kasayab,
Sara'ah,
Zara'ah,
Kayabian,
Kayabian,
Banakal,
Banakal,
Koyashwan,
Koyashwan,
Nashimadwa,
Nashamadwa,
Bayandara,
Bayandara,
Hayawa,
Hayawa,
Daman,
Daman,
La'adama,
La'adama,
Shayathamwa,
Shayathamwa,
Nadaya Mawa,
Nadaya Mawab,
Ka'arab,
Kayarab,
Wakaza Abba,
Wakaza Abba,
Wakazabak,
Wakazabak,
Wakatazal,
Wakatizal,
Mana'ai,
Manai,
Kal Nasayakamu,
Kadasyakamwa,
Ashar,
Ashar,
Amarwa,
Amarwa,
Naya Rasha,
Larisha,
Lanawa,
Adawa,
Ath,
Ath,
Nawath,
Nawa,
Alahayam,
Alahayim,
Alahaya,
Alahaya,
Shayathamwa,
Chayathamwa,
Kagagala,
Kagagala,
Kakwash,
Kakwash,
Lapanya Raka,
Lapanya Rovoka,
Salakia, Lapanya Rawa, Salakia, Lapanya Rawaka,
Lapanya Rovoka,
Ka'ash,
Kaash,
Tabaira Yaira,
Kabayaira Yaira,
Wakala Haba,
Wakalahaba,
Talahat,
Talahat,
Harayam,
Haraya,
Khan,
Khan,
Daradapma,
Dawadatma,
Basairaka,
Masairaka,
Wabasa,
Wabasa,
Wapaska,
Wapathka,
Tabahalam,
Sabahalam,
Mala'a,
Mala'a,
Panyaham,
Panyaham,
Kualawan,
Palawan,
Wayabakwashwa,
Wayabakwashwa,
Shemka,
Shumka,
Yahawa,
Yahawa,
Yabashwa,
Yabashwa,
Wayabahawa,
Wayabahawa,
Aya'ai,
Ayai,
Wayakaparwa,
Wayakapawa,
Wayabadwa,
Wayabadwa,
Wayadawa,
Wayadayawa,
Kaya Atha,
Kaya Atha,
Shemka,
Shamka,
Yahawa,
Yahawa,
Labadka,
Labadka,
Al-Yawan,
Ayawan,
Al-Kaharatza.
Al-Kaharatasa in English. Keep not thou silence,
Keep not thy silence,
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace,
Hold not thy peace.
and be not still,
Be not still,
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo,
For lo,
thy enemies make a tumult,
thine enemies make a tumult.
and they that hate thee
They that hate thee
have lifted up their
have
head.
lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people,
against thy people.
and consulted against
And consulted against
thy hidden ones.
thy hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
come,
come,
and let us cut them off
let us cut them off
from being a nation,
being a nation,
that the name of Yasha'Allah may be no more remembrance. For they had consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gebal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Selah, do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb and like Zeeb. Yea, all their princes, as Ebah and as Amunah, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. O my power, make them like a wheel, as a stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth a wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High over all the earth.
Tsar, men of Israel. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher, men of Israel, Majid Shabbat, Amajid, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Barakatah, Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Barakatah, Yahjimatah, class dismissed.
All right, shalom, Yahweh Hashem Shakatham. Tune in. Well, next Saturday, we're going to have it in Sabbath service, going to be in Cocoa Beach, Florida, man. Once again, I think that might be the Feast of Unleavened Bread or something, right? Feast of Unleavened Bread. We're about to do all that good stuff, man. We're about to practice all the righteous acts. We're about to eat the lamb, drink the wine with our brothers like Christ did with his disciples and his brothers. Eat the unleavened bread, man, and pray to the Lord to bring down plentiful destruction on this earth and spare the wine and the oil by us, which is us. With that, shalom.